with an individual question for you, actually. If someone has never seen anything you've done before, what is the first thing you want them watching and why?
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I'm going to go with Bandit. I'm going to go with Bandit.
Good answer, buddy.
Listen, I've been very blessed. You know, obviously I've been blessed, my whole life getting great opportunities. This was one of those, and I'm not saying that just because you're here, this was a true gift. I was in Pensacola, helping my wife promote her book when I get the call 3 days before I'm supposed to shoot this, an offer to do this film, and I'm going, what? This is crazy. And I read it right away. Immediately, of course, I say yes. I hop on a plane from there. 2 days later, we're shooting, and it turned into one of the most incredible blessings. The entire project. This man did the impossible, shooting this film in 21 days with this incredible cast. But I think for me, to tell audiences, if there's something to watch, this one, because the experience was so freeing in the sense that there was no time to prepare. We had to work with the constraints that we had. That kind of frees you up as an actor in a weird way, because you go, well, look, I don't have this albatross of like, I've got to do so much homework. The homework I can do is defined by the time I have. And so I think subsequently, between the way you directed and the constraints of what we had, it was for me one of the most freeing performances. And to me, if you have that environment as an actor, that's kind of a gift to the actor and hopefully to the audience.
I definitely actually wanted to talk to you about that aspect, is that I am very impressed with what you pulled off with the limited resources and time that you had. What was the thing that you were most scared about before filming began, about actually being able to do it with the limitations that were in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was trying to recreate Canada and Georgia. That was sort of the thing that terrified me. Luckily, Elisha had lived in Ottawa. She kind of came on like the location sketch. She's like, yeah, this Victorian architecture, I think this will work for the glebe for our house. No, I mean, just knowing that this should have been a 35-day shoot at a certain budget level in Canada and then becoming half the amount of time in Georgia was incredibly scary. But I had the most incredible cast. My art team was amazing trying to recreate, Canada, and all I did was just prep, and learn everything off by heart so that there was just no way I could screw it up.
Right, I would imagine that also impacts how many takes you have on set, how many locations you have to hit in a day, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and we had 95 locations in the film and 200 scenes. So the original cut was 3 hours long for 21 days, which was sort of like a ha-ha to the producers. We did it.
Yeah, I know, 3 hours, but yes, and this man knew every scene number. So I would ask about a question in a certain scene. He goes, "Oh, scene 157." He literally knew every scene by number. That's how much prep this man did.
But seriously though, that's why the movie looks as good as it does. The fact with the limitations is because you can't have even a half an afternoon wasted.
No.
Everything has to be on screen.
No. And we ended up doing having to do some second unit stuff. I know.
So Nestor, as an amazing TV director, I said to him, listen, this movie we're never going to finish. We're splintering off into 3 units now. I'm going to be downstairs. We had this old courthouse that had like 10 sets in it. So I'd be downstairs directing Josh and Elisha. They'd call cut and the walk say, Allan's coming up to the second unit. And Nestor's kind of setting everything up. I call action, cut. Allan's running to the next unit. But Nestor essentially took over all of that.
Well, I mean, there was no, given the time, we didn't have a choice. We had to sort of divide and conquer at some point. So my storyline was somewhat contained with Swen, so we could do that. But this man was running, no joke, between 3 sets at one point. It was insane.
One of the things I personally, anytime I've worn 80s clothing, it makes me crazy. I hate it. And I'm just curious what it was like for you and for everyone else, because 80s clothing is terrible.
Especially in Georgia humidity.
Yeah, and that leather jacket wasn't very forgiving. And the dead heat of Georgia and Thomasville and Valdosta, and the humidity was lovely. And the sweaters are great.
Josh's flannel sweaters.
Oh, those are, I know. I saw that in the trailer. I was like, oh, I forgot about that sweater. Amazing. Yeah, the 80s, man. The merry-go-round sweaters, those are the days. But I had the best laugh in my wardrobe fitting. It was the first meeting I had even before I met you, was wardrobe. Yeah. And just going, oh my God, this is taking me way back. It's a good reason we got rid of these clothes. But I got to tell you, it was fun. Whenever you get to wear something like that as an actor, already it's almost like it's a gift to an actor because you're already developing the character. It's almost like a stage actor. The first thing they want to wear is a character's shoes to see how they walk. And it's no different with clothing.
one of the things about this film is you can't believe it's true. Most bank robbers are lucky to rob a few banks.
Right.
Once you crack 50, it's just it's preposterous, but yet it's true. Can you sort of talk about that aspect of the story?
Yeah, well, the sheer volume, I mean, that's what hooked me right from the get-go. Because I had heard the moniker Flying Bandit, but I didn't know the extent to which he had actually pulled off all of these crimes. And the way, the flair and the panache, like how he did all of that, it sucked me right in. And I knew that after reading the book, I was like, nobody is going to... Like, when we screened a first cut, someone said, he just paid a homeless guy for his health card? That would never happen. I'm like, no, it happened. And so that's why we ended up putting those sort of captions on screen, because people would be like, taken out of the film, there's no way this actually happened. All of it did. Even the pizza, ordering the pizza at the police station after being arrested. It was insane.
Is there anything you want to add?
Truth is stranger than fiction. It really is. But you're right. I'm so glad you did put those things. Not only are they funny, but you're right. You would question that. That's part of the joy, part of the ride of this is that it is so unbelievable, and yet it isn't. It actually happened. And few of these films are getting made. These incredibly beautiful, character-driven, true stories, that have elements of action. And credit to you, brother, and the investors to take a chance on this one.
Last question, individual for each of you. What's going on with this Driver TV series? Is that happening?
I'm waiting on the studio to call me. After I did Uncharted, I was very blessed to be in a position to get the rights to a lot of video games. People trusted me and sort of what I pulled off with Fillion. And, everything is sort of an initiative these days. All the studios, turnaround, development hell. I'm always waiting on a call, so I'm ready to go.
I'm also very curious about Shōgun.
Yeah.
And so what can you tease about that? Because the project seems very cool.
It's an incredible project. We shot in Vancouver, which doubled for Japan, and extraordinary production value. I mean, it was just unbelievable. They built 3 villages in Vancouver. It's and they really spared no expense in terms of, the details and trying to really replicate the period. There's not much I can say.
The beard.
I did have to grow this nasty beard and do some stuff to my head that I later paid for. But so much fun to dive into that kind of character work. I love disappearing into roles like that. I think it comes out, I believe, 2023. So it'll be next year, sometime next year. But I'm looking forward to seeing, the cut as much as anyone. It was extraordinary. That the production was like nothing I've ever seen.
Cannot wait. Congrats.
Thank you.
You guys have a fantastic afternoon.
Thank you.
You too.